My name is Walter Kimbrough. I'm the president of Philander Smith College here in Little Rock, Arkansas. We're a small, about 600 student, historically black college affiliated with the United Methodist Church. My career has been in higher education, and I guess when people look at me as a college president, they have to get over that shock because the average age of a college president is 60. And I became president at 37 and I'm 41 now. So I'm on the really young end of being a college president, but it's something I knew I wanted to do even as a college senior at the University of Georgia. I'm a native of Atlanta. So I worked through higher education. I worked on the student affairs side, working a lot with students, student organizations. And when this opportunity opened up, my father's a United Methodist minister in Atlanta, and he heard about the opening, and I got nominated, and next thing you know, I was interviewing, and they offered me the job, and I said, great, I'll be there. So that was over 4 years ago now. I'm in my 5th year here. I was very involved as an undergraduate, particularly in my fraternity, and I served on our board of directors. So I was at a national meeting with a former fraternity president, national fraternity president, who was a college president. I said, you know what, I think I might want to be a college president one day. What should I do? And I was 21. He said, go get a master's in college student personnel, get a PhD. So I went to Miami of Ohio to get this master's degree, and I had a class that I wrote a career preparation paper, and I said, in 15 years, and at that time I was 23 when I wrote this paper. In 15 years, I'm gonna be a college president, which is still crazy because then the average age of presidents was like 56, 58. So I'm saying I'm gonna do something that, and my faculty members say, okay, this is really ambitious, but okay. So, I mean, I did it in 14 years, but I had a specific plan. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this and this and this. And I made my 15-year deadline. So I just felt like my purpose was to be on a college campus. And that's my purpose. I mean, I'm completely at home. This is a job that I would do every day for free. I could come here and do this every day for free. We have about 600 students from 25 different states, several countries. Arkansas is our largest pool, but then after that comes Tennessee now, actually, Illinois, California, Missouri. So some of our border states, and then Illinois and California, because there was a time here, particularly in the 1930s and 40s, when African Americans graduated from college, there weren't a lot of job opportunities, so they went west and they went north. So there are a lot of people who will still send children back to Arkansas because grandma is here, aunt is here, somebody is here. So they still have a tie here. This school was founded technically in 1877. It started as one of those efforts by the Methodist Church after the end of slavery to provide education. Abraham Lincoln created Freedmen's Aid Bureau, and the Methodist Church did the same kind of thing. So they started a little school on the church, at the church that's on campus, and it grew into the college. So 132 years now. There is a group of about 40 college presidents in the nation that are my age or younger, out of 4,000 college presidents. So I'm in a really select group of people. I think probably for my students, I don't know if they can fully understand what's happening because the way I relate to them is completely different than any other college president. And when I talk to students other places, I mean, students come to my house, they can catch up with me on Facebook, they text message me. I have complete access because I have an older view of what college presidents, I do what presidents did using modern technology, but in the 1800s, where the president was that moral leader on campus and you knew the students and you taught classes. So that's my model for being a president from the 1800s. I just use, 21st century technology to do the same thing. Facebook has done, I think, a good job of helping people create communities, and so I think there is those broader communities, but on a campus like this where there are about 600 people, for me it's easy to facilitate community as a whole, and we do that through some of the rituals that we have. Every Thursday we have a chapel program. It's not always a religious service, sometimes it's just educational, but in terms of the programs and events, the event here tonight, you'll see there are a lot of students who are working, and they represent lots of different student organizations, but they're part of this broader community. So it's easy to facilitate, and so I'm the chief community facilitator. And by the way, I interact with students and take students, and we go to lunch together, and they're mostly students sitting at the table with me, so that, I model that behavior. This is how we're supposed to engage each other. And they do a very good job doing it among other students and faculty and staff. So it's been easy for us to model, and I think we really do have a community. I've worked at a lot of bigger institutions that talk about our community here, but it's just the terminology. We truly have community here. I tell people, whatever job you have, do the best that you can in that job. A lot of times we think down the road, and I think it's good to think down the road, but every step of the way I was like, now how can I do this job in such a way that whoever follows me is going to have a tough time? I want to really do this job. So I give that encouragement to say, don't just think so much about what's happening down the road. What are you doing right now? Be in that moment and say, I'm going to do this job the best that I can. And then you look at the next step. Just do the best that you can, because if you do a good job, people will take notice of you doing a good job. You don't have to publicize yourself. They're like, that guy's good, or that woman, she's good at this. And so the word will get out. Our overall focus as an institution, we launched this new initiative in August of 2007. Is a whole social justice initiative. At the same time, you have too many young people from, I'm Generation X, a hip-hop generation. A lot of my contemporaries go to school, make a lot of money. Well, we don't have people with the mindset of people like Dr. King saying, how am I gonna make my community better? So we changed our entire focus as an institution to say, I want students who care about their communities, and they aren't worried about getting a job and making as much money as they can. They care about their communities. And we're pushing that. And they hear that message consistently from me, from people we bring in to speak. This is going to become who we are as an institution, that I want these social justice advocates in any field that they choose. So we're really pushing that for our students to say, you have a responsibility to make your communities better. And if they aren't doing that, for me, that's a failure for me. That I've got to get that message out. And like I said, it's radical because you don't have people in my generation saying that a lot. And I'm saying, no, but I want to be like Dr. King's college president, Benjamin Elijah Mays. My son's first name is Benjamin after Benjamin Mays. I went to a high school named for Benjamin Mays. And you think about it, how many people when they die want their college president to give their eulogy? Because that's what happened with Dr. King. So it shows you the power that somebody like a college president could have. So that's my role model. I want to be Dr. Mays. I want to have that kind of influence on my students. And so I push that they got to get out and do something for other people, because there's so many problems in our community. We can't wait for the next great person to come along and save us. We have to save ourselves. So that's what we're doing. I'm excited about it. I think students are, and it's scary for people too when I'm pushing and saying, we got problems, you got to fix it. What are you going to do to fix this? But it's exciting for us.